Hey, welcome back. It's August 29th and I'm actually just coming towards the end of my summer holiday. And just a quick roundup on the usual Friday walk-in video that I usually do. There's really two key points I want to cover. The first of which is the Bitcoin Asia conference that's taking place in Hong Kong this week. Now, the price of Bitcoin, there's a slight dump within the 109k range, and really there's a clear pattern where towards a run-up and the aftermath of any Bitcoin conference there is that dump or slight dump in the Bitcoin price action. So that's happening even in the Bitcoin Asia conference in Hong Kong this week. So there is clearly a continuity in that pattern on the Bitcoin price action. So not to despair. And really, just as I said, we need to just hold on to our holdings that we currently have. And whenever there are dips, those are usually gifts. So dips are gifts, and we should use that to advantage to add to our existing positions through DCA and to HODL. And there's a second part to that Bitcoin Asia where Eric Trump, who is President Trump's son, has made an interesting claim at the Bitcoin Asia conference where he said vividly that he would like to see the US and China join forces on an eventual meeting between President Trump and President Xi on Bitcoin. Now that is rather interesting because I think there's been some rumors that China is starting to make its own approaches to Bitcoin. Remember, China historically has banned Bitcoin miners in the country, I think a couple of years ago, and that has caused a momentary blip on the actual price of Bitcoin, and then it resurged and rebounded. It's testimony that no matter how big of a nation, it really doesn't really stack up too much in terms of exerting its influence to the Bitcoin network, which is one of many of its attributes and advantages that it provides. So I think it's a rather interesting claim of Eric Trump to say that, he would like to see President Trump and President Xi to kind of have a meeting on what they can do with Bitcoin, which I think is a good thing. Like I said, whenever there is a growing capital base, which Bitcoin is currently, and there's projections for it to grow quite significantly in the short, medium, long term. Remember, it's a $2 trillion asset class. And the widening of capital base, if you like, as more capital inflows are drawn into the network, the volatility is expected to dampen. So no matter the sales pressure, no matter the shenanigans of any politicians or market manipulation, that's going to have less of an influence on future price action of Bitcoin. Thereby, we're going to be seeing this continual upward trend, which is how it has been historically in its past 16-year history. So that's really the only two things I would like to mention today, as a roundup of the crypto news this week. Is pretty much the major headline is that Bitcoin Asia conference that's taking place in Hong Kong this week. I will be making an interesting video when I get back from my holiday, why I generally think that investing in crypto more broadly, including Bitcoin, is a hot potato. So watch out for that video that I'm expected to release in the coming days. So that's all from me. If you enjoyed today's episode, just hit that like button to share it, and also subscribe to my channel as I regularly publish some interesting videos such as these. Anything to do with Bitcoin, real world asset tokenization, and the future of finance. So until next time.